Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Namo. नमः समय साराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चित् स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावान्तरच्छिदे अज्ञानतिमिरन्दानां ज्ञान अञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः तीर्थंकरो जगतनाजयवन्तवर्तो ओंकारनादजिननो जयवन्तवर्तो जिनना समो शरणसौ जयवन्तवर्तो ने तीर्थचार जगमा जयवन्तवर्तो अनंत अनंत भाव भेदथी भरेली भली अनंत अनंत नय निक्षेपे व्याख्यानी छे सकल जगत हितकारिणी हारिणी मोहतारिणी भवाब्धि मोक्षचारिणी प्रमाणी छे उपमा आप्यानी जेने तमारा खवीते व्यर्थ आपवाथी निज मती पाई में मानी छे अहो राज चंद्र बाळ ख्याल नथी पामताए जीने स्वर ताणी वाणी जाणी तेने जाणी छे गुरु राज ताणी वाणी जाणी तेने जाणी छे ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री सुधात्माने नमः Jai Jinendra. Today is July 6, 2020, Monday, and we are continuing our class on Atmasiddhi class. We are on stanza number 4. And this stanza is describing the nature of the blind ritualistic person. Srimadji says that, there are two types of people who are on the so-called path to religion. There could be possibly two different types of individuals mainly. One group could be a blind ritualistic. They believe only in rituals and that's it. And other could be the dry knowledge one. He has only simple dry knowledge. He does not have complete understanding of the soul, but he just keeps on blabbering about it. So these are two types of people that Srimadji is describing, and we are going to talk on the first type over here. We are in somewhere halfway in that slide. So without further delay, I'll bring those slides and we'll start talking from wherever we were last time. Okay, here we are. And we were we'll recapitulate some of the things from last time and then we'll cut good. So soul substance what kind of work soul substance can do? Soul substance can do, it can be in the innate state, means Suddha Bhav Kriya. It just to get engrossed within myself, to get engrossed into the innate state of the soul. That's the first step of action, which is the natural action that I can do. Just like the sugar can give sweetness no matter what corner of the world it is there, or what time of the time frame it is there. Always it will give sweetness because it's innate state. Similarly, my innate state is knowing, 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 knowing mainly. And to get engrossed in that state is called innate state. That's called Suddha Bhav Kriya. It's a pure inclinations. There could be altered inclination, deluding state, a Suddha Bhav Kriya. Means it's an impure state. And in that impure state, I can be doing auspicious inclination or could be doing inauspicious inclination. Remember one thing from this picture, it's so evident right now for us that auspicious inclination that I may be performing today, donation, charity, compassion, worshipping, scriptural reading, meditating, ritualized repentance, equanimity state, all those things, vrat, tap, jap, bhakti, swadhyay, etc., state, they are called auspicious inclinations. And actually, they fall into the category of deluding state or impure activity of the soul. Huh? Is that impure activity? I give tons of donation. I'm showing compassion to every living object in this universe. I'm doing worship. All these things are impure inclinations. Yes, because it's a deluding state, because it's not the innate state. So because I'm not in the innate state, that's why this is deluding state. So all the auspicious inclination I put. So what do? I don't want to do bad. I don't want to do inauspicious. And you are saying auspicious is also impure state. What do you want me to do? Are you trying to confuse me? Yes, that's a whole intent, to confuse. Once you get confused, that means the way out comes out from that confusion state. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami, some people went to him and said, Gurudev Sri, we are not in the innate state because we don't have samyak darshan, we don't have self-realization. We don't want to do the inauspicious inclination. So what shall we do? What shall we do? Doing. So what should be the obvious answer from Gurudev? I'm not in this state right now. I don't want to be in this state. What should be the ultimate answer? Could be out of three things, two I don't want to be. So third choice is only that thing remaining. So what did Gurudev answer to that person? He says, son, I understand your problem. You don't want to do inauspicious inclination. You're not in the innate state. What shall you be doing? Perform the activity to get into the innate state. Wait a second. What was the answer? Perform the deeds which can lead you to the innate state. So, I'm not here. I don't want to do here. So, perform the deeds so that you reach the innate state. What will you be doing? You'll be doing auspicious inclination. But that auspicious inclination is made secondary in nature. People put all sorts of things on the Facebook, etc. We went for vacation, we went for this, we got a new car, we got this, we got new house and this and that and everything. But would you be putting on Facebook every day in the morning, hey, I did breakfast today, or hey, I took a shower today, or hey, I did the toothbrush today? Do you put those things on the Facebook maybe? You can if you want to, but your friends will think that this guy is having a loose screw in the mind. He needs psychiatric treatment. Because what a big deal to do the toothbrush every day, to take a shower every day, to take a breakfast. It's a routine. What a big deal about it. Similarly, to do the auspicious inclination, it's a routine. You don't take any credit for that. It just happens. So you don't take credit for it. Okay, so I give $100,000 to the temple today for donation. So what a big deal. You had it, you gave. I should compassion towards all the living beings. That's your birthright. You are supposed to do that. So what's a new thing you did there? I did Swadhay. You are supposed to do regularly. So what a big deal. So all those auspicious inclination you do, you don't take credit for that. It just merely happens. Many years back, I was there was only TV was there, and there was nothing else was there, and there was some show was coming up that it reminds me. A guy goes to vacation on a motorhome, and he's sleeping in the motorhome in the morning. Alarm goes on. He wakes up and gets ready as if he's going to go to work. Even on vacation, he just thinks that he's working, that he has to go to work. Similarly, this has to be so routine that you will do all those things anyway without taking any undue credit for that. And that is the real auspicious inclination. Hey, you know what? I can talk any language. I can give Swadhyay in any form. I know so much. I can teach. So what a big deal. Why do you have to just take a bullhorn and scream about it? Everybody knows what you can do and what you cannot do. So you don't have to take undue credit for those auspicious inclinations. Then they are the real thing. Then it will lead you to go towards innate nature. But if you are taking the credit for all the auspicious inclination, I give donation, you make sure that my name is spelled properly and it is on the marble plate, engraved name has to be there because I have given $1 million to the temple. Who cares? Who will read your name? Many years back, I was in Kutch. Kutch is an area of the India, in Gujarat. And there is one place called Bahattar Jinalay, means past, present, future, 24 sets of Tirthankar, means 24 times 372 Tirthankar temple was there. And at that time it was under construction, and then they showed lots of things to us, and then they said, okay, let's have a lunch or something. Yeah. When I went to the lunchroom, there everybody's pictures are there, hundreds of thousands of people's pictures, because each one had donated God knows whatever amount of rupees. Who cares for those pictures? Besides the person whose picture is there, who is watching that picture, tell me. So why do you want to take that credit for those kind of donation you do? So if you do anonymous donation, then anonymous work, anonymous auspicious inclination, then it may lead you to the innate state. So these are the 3 types of activities I can perform: innate state, auspicious or inauspicious inclination. So, we are just looking at the soul and matter karma relationship in which, yeah, sorry. So, when a soul can do its own activity, karma are the non-living object. Bondage of karma is non-living object. So living and non-living, if I can make the distinction between these two, then this is my innate state. In the deleting state is my auspicious and inauspicious inclination. So these are the way that we understand those three things. Now, soul's pure inclination. What about the pure inclination, innate state? Let's go a little bit detail on that one. Soul is embodiment of knowledge. Soul is full of knowledge. It is so, the knowledge is so tightly packed in the soul that nothing else, nothing means nothing else can enter. The example next I'm going to give you, you may not appreciate because you have never seen that thing happening. It was summer vacation, and one of my friend in medical school was getting married in Palanpur. And Palanpur is Nimisha's grandparents' place. And at 2 o'clock morning from Baroda station, me and my friend, we are two supposed to take the train. And it was a vacation time. It was a jam-packed train. And train stopped for about 5-7 minutes or God knows what. And we are running from one end to the other end of the station to see if we can enter the train anywhere. It was 2 o'clock morning, people were sleeping, they have packed up everything. There is no way we can go in. One lady wanted to take somebody wanted to drink a cup of tea or whatever, that they opened the window. And as soon as window opened up, I pushed my friend and then I pushed myself in. And then they were saying, oh God, get out, get out, get out. I can't get out now. So here, soul is embodiment of knowledge. Nothing means nothing can enter within. It's a full, really full, just like the train. Soul and knowledge have inherent relationship. Soul is a knowledge and knowledge is a soul. It's actually in Samaysar, Kunkun Acharya Dev wrote down 415 stanza 2000 years back on a palm leaf. We are so extremely fortunate that the Kunkun Acharya Dev 2000 were naked Digambar saint who had realized his soul, and he decided to write the scripture. There are no pen and paper and computer and word file and this and that and everything. There was only dry palm leaves. He takes that leaf on his hand, one hand, and with the second needle of the palm needle, he just engraves those words. He does that, he keeps it there, and he walks out. We are fortunate that somebody kept those papers, those palm leaves. And from there, the letters were engraved, that they were extracted out, and then the real scriptures were written. So what we see Samaysar today is the end result of those things that was written on the palm leaves. That Kunkun Acharya Dev 2000 years back said, soul is a knowledge and knowledge is a soul. 415 stanzas written that way. So that soul and knowledge have inherent relationship. You can say soul, that means knowledge. You can say knowledge, that means soul. Knowledge knows and perceives. Janna, dekhna. Job of the knowledge is to perceive, to know and to perceive. Knowledge can know the self, knowledge can know the alien objects of the universe. Soul's nature of knowing is without any inclination of attachment. This is very, very, very important point that we have to understand. Inclination of attachment means rag. Soul's nature is to know, only know without any rag. For example, let's say this is a phone. This is not only phone, this is my phone. When my grandkid comes and snatches phone from me, I become apprehensive that, oh, my phone, my phone, my phone. I have my attachment to this phone. It's called inclination of attachment. I have diabetes. I may have inclination of aversion, dvesh. Why me? That kind of feeling I may have it. So that rag and dvesh those are the things that we have to understand. Rag, dvesh. Soul is knowing without inclination of attachment, inclination of aversion. In the sense, the Tirthankar Bhagwan, when he knows the whole universe, past, present, and future, he has no inclination of attachment, no inclination of aversion. But here I am, from my, let's say I have gone to some business, some building, and comes out, and in the parking lot I see lots of cars. Oh, this car is good looking car, I like it. Oh, this is a clunker car, I don't like it. So likes and dislikes are always there with me. One form, that's a likes and dislike. Other thing, you may say, you know what, uncle, you are just saying all this garbage thing, but I am just knower and perceiver. I don't have any feeling for any attachment to anything. For example, that's what you may say. I still say that you have rag and dvesh at the time. No, but I'm quiet. I have nothing else going on. I'm sitting in a corner. I'm just meditating. I'm just saying, I'm the pure soul, I'm perfect soul, I'm an immortal soul. And this thing like that, I'm just doing that kind of recitation, that kind of meditation. Where is rag and dvesh there? Tell me. Still there are rag and dvesh in those situations. Why? Number one, we are the human being right now on having five senses. How do I perceive the knowledge? With five senses. Nowadays, there are nice mangoes available. So I'll give the example of mango right now. A mango sitting on a table, kitchen table. How do I know this mango? Mango says, any knowledge, please know me completely, perfectly. I'm not hiding anything from me. That's a mango's part. Mango is taking his own part and saying that, hey, you know me completely. But then me, how do I know the mango? My eye says mango is yellow-orange color. My nose says it's a sweet smell. My hand says it's a soft touch. And my tongue says it is sweet to the taste. So, whole mango, and I saw it by four different senses in a fragmented form. My knowledge about mango is a fragmented form. Yellow by eyes, smell by nose, touch by hand, and taste by the tongue. So when any knowledge in a fragmented form with the sensory organs involved, the fragmented form of unfragmented thing. Mango is a mango is a mango, unfragmented in whole thing. And I know them with the four different senses. So knowing an object in a fragmented form with the sensory knowledge, in the scripture it says it's associated with the influence of attachment. That means a rag state. Fragmented knowledge is a rag state. So that means it becomes an impure knowledge. But soul's nature of knowing is without any influence of attachment. See, the Bhagwan knows perfectly. Aryan Bhagwan knows perfectly. But we know it in a fragmented form because we know with the senses. And senses are fragmented form. Pure souls in the pure modification is soul's pure inclination. So soul's pure inclination means soul has a pure modification without any inclination of attachment, without any external objects interference. That's called soul's pure inclination. Now, soul's impure disposition, what is that? Asuddha bhav kriya means, let's see what it says. Soul is having knowledge capacity. We know that. Knowledge has self and alien knowing property, means knowledge can know the self and knowledge can know the alien objects of the universe. Just like that lamp in the room. Lamp lights up the whole room. And at the same time, lamp is also lighting itself. So self and alien knowing property is the same as that lamp. Lamp is illuminates the alien objects in the room, and lamp also illuminates the same thing knowledge does in the within. Object of knowledge illuminates in the knowledge mode. There is an object. This is an object. This object, this pen is getting illuminated in my knowledge mode, and that's why my knowledge mode, without going out, can know that there is a pencil over here, and it's a green pencil. This is not the fault of knowledge. I simply end up knowing this thing. It's not a fault of the knowledge. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh my God, I have so many thought process going on, negative thought process. Let me shut my mind off. You cannot shut yourself off. That's a knowledge has a capacity to know the self and alien object. No matter what you do, it will keep on knowing. More you try to shut your thought process, larger it will become. So you can't shut that thing because it's a knowledge, has a capacity to know by itself. Now it says, what does it, all the way up to here was talking about nature of the knowledge that I have it within me. Here it says, ignorant soul like us imagines it's to be desirable and undesirable. This is pencil, that's knowledge. But this is my pencil. I like it. I love it. I hate it. Whatever. Means I have desirability and undesirability in that knowledge form. And that is the problem. This type of knowledge with desirable and undesirable state, that means inclination of attachment and aversion, rag and dvesh, is impure disposition of the soul. So first we saw the pure disposition, means innate state. This is impure disposition we are seeing, and that is with the inclination of attachment and aversion with the rag and dvesh. Now, soul's impure inclination over here, it says impure disposition or inclination, it says over here, means what? Means auspicious inclination and inauspicious inclination. So again, remember, impure inclination means auspicious inclination you perform, that is also soul's impure disposition. You may say, why to go so much detail? If we don't understand real nature of the soul, we can go nowhere. We have to understand. Otherwise, there'll be so much pitfall. I'd rather just do meditation or forget about all these things. I'd rather do one upvas and get out of it. It won't work. Upvas will be the process of the body. Body is not getting food. That means nothing happens to the soul. Here, once we understand all these things, what's an impure disposition, what's a pure disposition, then I can use my discrimination and say, okay, I would like to go to my pure disposition right now. Without knowing, where will you go? Without GPS, how can you go from point A to point B? I mean, of course, people did that before. But now that we are smart, we are in 2020 and says, without GPS, you can't go nowhere. Well, you guys don't understand, but when we were growing up, there was no GPS and we have gone everywhere and lost everywhere too. Anyway, by the way, so pure material disposition. Now, this was the what we did over here. Let's see, where is that slide here? Is it here or not? Hold it 1 second. Okay, yeah, here this slide was there. In the sense, what we talk so far is soul's disposition, out of which we talk about pure disposition and impure disposition. This is from the soul's perspective. Now we also talk from the same thing from material perspective. Material perspective, there's also pure material disposition, pure impure material disposition. Actually, over here is the bodily activity we are going to describe, and it will be impure or pure bodily activity. Pure bodily activity means certain activity of the body which we do, which can take me towards my inclination, my purity of the soul. Impure material disposition will take me away from that state. It will take me away. So pure material disposition, impure material disposition, we are going to talk that one. So let's come back to that slide here. Okay, so pure material disposition means bodily activity which ultimately leads me towards the pure state of the soul, innate state of the soul. So what is it? Soul does not give up the right attitude of inertness. Soul is an inert substance. It doesn't, soul is a substance, does not react with anybody else. Soul is a pure by nature. Just like the gold in your bank locker is a pure gold. Soul is also pure forever. Yes, the modification in the soul can be pure and impure, but soul as a substance is always pure. So, soul is pure and inert. These souls remain in the discipline of the true teacher, means this type of living being, they remain under the command of the true teachers. And who are the true teachers? Sadguru, the one who leads me towards my innate state, is called Sadguru. That means I'm in the command of my Sadguru, because whatever he tells me, I follow that one. Gurudev Sri said, you do your personal effort and realize your soul. Yes, sir, I will do that. That means I'm under his command. Gurudev Sri has never said that, hey, you know what, come to me, serve me, do this to me, press my legs, give me good food. He never said that. He said one thing and one thing only for 45 years is, if you want to be happy, you have to go within, and there is a pathway to go within. You just realize yourself, do that. So that was his order all the time to us. That's why he's called Sadguru for us. For his own purification, he is involved in self-study, listening to the discourses, worshipping, observing vows, remaining in certain restriction, etc. states. So the soul, he has an attitude towards his soul. Number one, he is involved in the disciplines of his teacher, and at the same time, he is doing self-study, means Swadhay. He's listening to the discourses, worshipping, or every activity is directed towards the purification of the soul, and that's why these actions are called pure bodily activity. These type of activities are known as pure material disposition or pure bodily activity or Suddha Dravya Kriya. There is no prohibition for such acts, so one can continue to perform this act. There is nothing to be, one should not stop or just feel shy about it. You know, keep doing it. You have to do it. So these are the things for pure material disposition. Same way we are going to see impure material disposition. Impure material disposition means ignorant soul thinks about he has ignorance about the true nature of the self. Person is ignorant about his true. He doesn't know that he is a soul. He's an atheist, kind of atheist. He just believes in eat, drink, and be merry, and that's it. Once you're gone, you're gone. So why not to enjoy life? So what is so-called enjoyment? Are you getting enjoyment by going to exotic vacations, by doing, by eating exotic food, by doing, spending exotic amount of money? Are you getting happiness there? Actually, with this coronavirus right now, everybody's homebound, and actually we are very happy from within because we have so much time to self-study, etc., etc. You don't need to have tons and tons of things. You can stay in the night dress whole day. Nobody can bother you about it. Your expenses are minimal and you're still not unhappy about it. So if you understand the nature of the true self, and that's where the happiness is there. But if, the ignorant soul, he is not knowing the nature of the soul. Absence of experiencing state of the eternal self. He has never, ever experienced a soul. Now, question comes, how to experience that soul? Well, that's why we are here to learn the Atmasiddhi. There are 142 stanzas that Kripalu Dev Srimad Jiya tells us about how to go within. Right now, he is telling us what are our faults. Realize the faults, where the faults are. Realize where you are. Realize your fault. And once you understand your faults, then you will get out of it. So we are in this information gathering phase right now, getting information, what I am, who I am, what's my nature, etc., etc. One has given a refuge of the one has taken refuge in the false teachers. Those teachers, false teachers, they just say, hey, you want to, so many times we get the WhatsApp message. It says some Bhagwan's message, God knows, whatever, and says, if you send it to 5 different people, some auspicious thing will happen to you. You mean I'm forwarding some message to 5 different people and I'll get some auspicious thing? These are the false teacher. They give me kind of they show me that do this, do that. If you do this, it will happen this. If you do that, it will happen. Those are wrong things. They are called false teacher. That reminds me one short story. One of my patients was there, and he used to go and bet on the horses on Turf Paradise on 19th Avenue and Bale Road in Phoenix. And he was kind of he will in the morning before he goes to the Turf Paradise, he will decide what horse he's going to bet today. He decides that number. He goes there, and all his friends says, John, give me that number, give me that number. So he gives the number to everybody. And he goes to the ticket counter, and as soon as he takes the money out, he changes his mind, takes a different number. And invariably, he will end up losing. And the previous number he had thought about it was a winning number. So he is very frustrated. So one time he decided John is not going to change his thing. John is not going to change it. He did not change. He did not change. He did not change. He took that ticket. And guess what? The horse, the number that he bet on the horse, that horse was winning. It was a winning horse. For a long time, it never happened. Now he's so excited. In that excitement, with his bad luck, he lost his ticket. So he became so frustrated. So he goes to a psychic. And psychic says, okay, I can change your luck and everything. Put three denomination of the notes over here, and I'll take care of your problem. So he puts $1, $5, and $10 bill. And psychic opens the eyes and says, this is wrong, this is wrong. What's wrong? I said three denominations, 1, 10, and 100. And you put 1, 5, and 10. This is the psychic to false. These are the false teachers. They are materialistic. They just try to help you out. How can you obtain some material thing? These are false teachers. Don't go in the trap. True teacher will never, ever, ever, ever ask for any material favor from you. He will always say, do your Swadhay, realize your soul, and that's a gift to me. So that's what we have to think about. Decides about spirituality with his own whimsical nature. He himself decides what's the true nature of the self without reading, without talking to teachers, without discussing. He just decides himself what is right, what is not right. Somebody will say, you guys are always talk about so much about knowledge. You guys are driving us nuts. For me, the religion is just serve the humanity, and that's it. That's my religion. No, that's not the religion. That's an auspicious thing. Yes, you do it, but that's not the religion. That's not the innate state of the soul. You are mistaken, but people will decide that way time to time. Performs ritual without understanding its true meaning. And especially it's true for you young people. You have been dragged to the temple. You have to come to Pratikaman. You have to do the Samay. You have to do puja. What it is, I have no idea. But you have been dragged. So now it becomes kind of second nature for you, and you say, oh yeah, rather than my parents screaming at me, I'll rather than do it. Not knowing. That's a blind rituals. These are wrong activities as far as the soul is concerned. They're all wrong activities. Now, Bhaya Kriyama Rasta, one Bhaya Kriyama Rasta. Now we are looking at this first line. Remember those 3 points we are supposed to take in this stanza. First, Bahaya Kriya Marachda, Antar Vedanakai, Gnan Mad Nisheta, Te Kriya Jarai. So Bahaya Kriya Marachda means one who is engrossed in the external rituals. That's a point we are going to discuss now. Until now, we just said what's the right thing, what's the wrong thing, and all those things decided. And now we are coming to nitty-gritty part of this stanza. One who is engrossed in the external rituals. What does it mean? Blind ritualist, what does he do? In scripture, the rituals along with the right knowledge is considered as proper conduct. Scripture says you do rituals with the proper knowledge, and that will be considered a proper conduct. For example, one ritual we take Samayik. You take that, you sit down in the corner for 48 minutes and that's it. That's called Samayik. Means equanimity state. But it's in the form of rituals. So I had to do the rituals. I had to perform rituals. I'm so tired of today and everything. But so one of the person I know, that person says that Samayik is my daily routine. I have to do it. So sometimes at 10 o'clock night, that person says, oh, I was so busy, I didn't do it. So that person starts doing Samayik. I've seen with my eyes that person dozing off completely. Is that called Samayik? But if you know what the real nature of that part is, Tirthankar Bhagwan, when he's monk, when he's naked monk and meditating, Mahavir at the age of 30 took the monkhood. He became naked saint. And from the prince he was, everything and more he had it. All the external worldly objects, he threw it away and took the monkhood. He is trying to get engrossed in his natural state. He gets engrossed and comes out, gets again little bit more time, goes out, again more time, comes out. And that kind of thing keeps on going for a long time. And then finally, when he stays in his innate state for 48 minutes, non-stop, 7 spiritual development state, then he goes to ultimately 13 spiritual development statements. He obtains omniscience knowledge. So that 48 minutes is a time that one gets engrossed. And that's a ritual we try to perform, that when I become monk, I'll have to be in an equanimity state also 48 minutes. That thing I'm mimicking. And that's why if I understand that rituals, then it is worth to perform. This is the way we can dissect all the rituals and find it out what is the real nature behind, what's a real thing, hidden points there. The discourse of the ritual is given for the purpose of obtaining right faith and to further get engrossed in. Discourses are given about discourses about rituals are given to the person, just for the same of a very narrow aim of obtaining right faith and to get engrossed in it. Any rituals performed without this aim is useless. It is as good as not doing it. So those are the rituals we are talking about. Ignorant soul simply gets engrossed in the rituals only. Here, discourses for rituals, one should get engrossed. Instead, he gets engrossed in ritual only, for procedure only, process only. I am doing upvas today. I'm doing fasting, means not to eat. That's all his aim is. He doesn't understand. Upavas. Word upavas. Up means near. Vas means to stay near the soul. That's called upavas. While you are trying to do to mimic to stay near the soul, then you are so getting engrossed into the soul that you forget about the food. And that's why that's called true upvas. Do we do that way? No, we are not doing that way. We are doing bodily activity only. If bodily activity is called fasting, then that snake and squirrel in the winter time, in the fall, late or early late fall, they just go in the hibernation under the ground and they reduce their metabolism so much that for 6 months, 6 months they survive without food and water. So when they come out in springtime, we should have a biggest festival to be observed because they have done 6 months of upvas without food and without drinks. That is not called a upvas. Upvas is to stay near the soul. Such type of souls keeps on insisting on ritual. Some people just say rituals, 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 rituals. How many upvas you did today? How many upvas Jain Center of Southern California has done it? How many upvas Jain Center of Greater Phoenix has performed it? So this is not right. This is not right. You don't have to count numbers and everything. That reminds me in our Jain Center, in Phoenix Temple, there was a celebration for 8 days of fasting for some kids and everything. And I was just joking to that kid. I said, this is 8 day. What's happening tomorrow? He says, I'm waiting for the food. I mean, of course, he was a younger kid. He did not know all the details. But that is not called upvas. You have to enjoy every second of it to get engrossed within self. There's no prohibition for the ritual. Remember, all this thing I'm talking doesn't mean that I'm telling you do not do upvas, do not do ekasan, do not do this, do not. No. Prohibition is not there on rituals, but to think that those rituals are helpful to me, that is refuted. Just blindly performing rituals without knowing its basis, that fact is refuted over here. Don't take message at home, going home that, well, this the class said rituals are not to be done because they are whatever, whatever. No, you perform, but understand the meaning of it. So without knowing to do all those things, that point is refuted. It's been refuted for such soul who believe that they are doing right thing. Those people with a wrong understanding that by doing upvas I will do this. So many types of kind of things get told to the kids and everything, that it just says, hey, if you just think about going to temple, that means you will get a punya for one upvas. You get ready for going to the temple, punya for 5 upvas. You start sitting down in the car or start walking towards the temple, well, 10 upvas punya. And then when you actually reach this kind of things given to the child so that he gets attracted. But adults should not continue that practice. This child who has done nothing, so for that child, these are the things being told. But you should not get into that habit that, okay, this many upvas I did, that means it's so much good to me. No, that's not right. Rituals are suggested for creation of the inclination towards the soul. Whole idea is how can I go toward the nature of the soul? So these are the means that they help me to direct myself to go towards the soul. Rituals without such proper aim are useless in the path to liberation. So if this is not the aim, better don't do it. And if your parents are saying you are just nihilistic and everything, don't worry about it. Ask them to give me a call. I'll talk to them. But aim has to be there. Then you do those rituals. In Phoenix, it becomes so hot. And I have seen in my own eyes people say, oh, you know what, I did upvas today, but when I drink the water, that water I can't keep in my tummy and everything. It hits me so much and it gives me so much nauseous feeling, etc. So I'm not drinking water. And wait a second. The whole thing you're saying about discomfort to the physical body, and I'm doing upvas. Is this right? You ask the question to yourself, is this right? I'll rather eat 3 meals a day and then do this swadhyay rather than not to eat, worrying about water, and then water will give me nauseous feeling, and then whole day I'm getting dehydrated, I'm getting weak and tired and fatigued and everything, keep on sleeping whole day. Is this the reason I'm doing upvas? So ask yourself what is right for you. Rituals which are done to stay away from inauspiciousness and also to further spirituality are encouraged. I don't want to do inauspicious thing. I don't want to keep on thinking about food 24 hours during that upvas. I was 8 or 10 years old, and I ended up doing a upvas at the time, and I was so hungry throughout the day, and it was the last day of Paryushan. And in India, there was a system that they distribute sweet at the end of the such type of pratikaman, etc. So now I had done upvas, now I had done pratikaman, now I'm getting those sweet panda and everything, and they smell with that saffron and everything. Oh my God! I mean, the panda in my hand and everything, keep on smelling. Whole night I'm thinking, when will it be morning and I can start eating that thing. This is not upvas. This is not upvas. Eat regular meals and do some swadhyay at the time. Bodily activities, bahya kriya. Since time infinite, living being has given importance to external body activities only. He performs bodily activity by family and social custom. It is customary to do upvas, etc. Furthermore, he has inclination of attachment on such external activities. He has rag and dvesh for such type of activities. He believes that bodily activity is helpful to the soul. How can bodily activity be helpful to the soul? A neighbor end up winning the lottery. How can I be happy? What is my happiness in that lottery? That is his problem, his happiness, or whatever that happiness is considered. Why do I have to be happy or unhappy with that? So, bodily activity cannot be helpful to the soul. He believes that the auspicious activity leads to liberation. Ask 9 out of 10 people. Stand at the front of the Jain temple door and ask 10 people. 9 will say, auspicious activity will lead me to the liberation. False, 100% false belief. And if that is a belief, your ignorance continues and your infinite transmigration till continues also. So it depends. Belief is very important. For that, knowledge is very important to understand. Ignorant means one who is engrossed only in the external activities. He believes observing 5 vows, 5 carefulnesses, 3 restraint, austerities, etc., auspicious activities. They are activity of mind, speech, and body activities are considered helpful to the soul. Auspicious activities are considered as wholesome, means upadey. Inclinations of attachment states are considered as beneficial to the soul. I have inclination of attachment towards my body. Hey, I did donation today. Hey, I did austerity today. Hey, I showed compassion towards a living being and everything. And those kind of inclinations of attachment, I believe they are helpful to my soul. They are not. That they are not doesn't mean that you should not perform. You should do it, but do not have oneness with those kind of inclinations. He takes ownership on the independently occurring bodily activity. Bodily activity occurs independently by itself, and he takes ownership on those things. Condition of the matter is considered to be the helpful, conscious, nature, soul substance. So the body's activity are helpful to me. That kind of belief, strong belief, is a wrong faith I have. I'm carrying that one since time infinite. Now, this is second point coming, and I think already 9 o'clock is there, so I'll stop over here, and then if there's question, then we can entertain for a few minutes. Any questions?
Hi, Uncle. This is Manisha. I had a question on the last slide you wrote, Upadey. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Upadey, this guy, yeah. It is helpful to see there are 3 words coming. Hey, Gne, Upadey. Hey, H-E-Y-A, hey, Gne, G-N-E-Y-A, Gne, and Upadey, third word here. So, hey means censorable, discardable. Gne means knowable object. And Upadey means the one which is wholesome for me, that I can depend on it. For example, if you take 9 tattva, Jeev Ajeev, Pap Punya, Ashrav Bandh, Samvar Nijra Moksha, out of which Ashrav and Bandh, Punya Pap, Ashrav Bandh, 4 tattva, 4 elements, they are called hey, means discardable, they are censorable. Samvar Nijra Moksha, stoppage, shading, and liberation, those 3 elements, they are upadey, wholesome, they are to be accepted, they are to be worshipped. And Jeev Ajeev, Jeev means not only me, but you all, every living object, they are called Gne, means object of my knowledge. Every other soul and every matter object, they are Gne means knowledge, object of my knowledge. So those 3 words, Gne, He, Gne, Upadey. So this Upadey comes in a Samvar Nijra and Moksha, stoppage, shading, and liberation element. Okay. Upadey.
Thank you.
So the ignorant one says these auspicious activities are very good to me, but they are not. He doesn't understand that part. It's just you want to go to New York from Los Angeles, and you are changing plane at Chicago. Chicago is not your destination. It's just midway stop. Similarly, auspicious activities are your midway stop from inauspiciousness to auspiciousness, and ultimately you have to jump and give up everything and go to the innate state. So don't consider that these are my ultimate end point over here. They are somewhere in the midpoint only. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. If not, then we'll do closing. Okay. ये स्वरूप समझा बिना पाम्यो दुख अनंत समझाव्यूं ते पद नमो श्री सदगुरु भगवन परम पुरुष प्रभु सदगुरु परम ज्ञान सुखदाम जेणे आप्યું ભાનની તેને સદા પ્રણામ દેહ છતાં જેની દશા વર્તે દેહાતી તે જ્ઞાનીના ચરણમાં હો વંદન અગણી જાવાણી के ज्ञान से सुजलो कालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ जय जिनेन्द्र
Jai Jinendra uncle.
थैंक यू
Jai Jinendra, Kirit uncle.
जय जिनेन्द्र बेटा थैंक यू